Alrighty, so I'm trying to figure out how to get the picture on the text box here. You can't do it. So a lot of requests have been for what is called, or what would be called, a personal assistant or virtual personal assistant. So um, one woman, she was wanting to get the best ideas or strategies for investing into the stock market right now, given the precarious environment we're in. And so the idea that we came up with here was the ultimate business partner bot. We trained it on everything from like global market strategy, portfolio diversification. Probably let me see if I can actually look up what we trained it on. Things like global macro analysis, geopolitical risks, all sorts of stuff that these financial advisors guys, so hopefully they take into consideration when advising their clients. And so we put all that into the bot, and we wanted to just see how well this thing could communicate ideas to the user or the client or the business partner through text. So we just started off the conversation was, what does a CFO do during the day? Let's just pretend I'm a CFO who's not really good at my job. I know how to smooch really well, so I know how to get the position. But once I get here, I'm not really knowing exactly what to do. Hello, boss. How can I assist you? What should be my first priority? I get into the office in the morning. Let's just see. Let's just take a dive into the life of a CFO here. And right now, I'm actually out. I'm out the way in the not really countryside, but the Fort Erie, Niagara area. So the texting isn't so fast in terms of responses out here. But at the very least, we can get something going if this thing responds in time. When you're dealing with bots every day, you pretty much want instantaneous gratification at all times, but then you gotta consider that not everywhere has such developed telecom towers for you to be able to do so. So it looks like it did try to send the message through. Oh, here we go. When you get into the office in the morning, your first priority should get a review on any urgent emails or messages you prioritize tasks for the day. So help you get organized, focus on your goals. Okay, so that's pretty much everyone who works needs to do that. But for a CFO, let's see. Okay, that's fine. But what should I be thinking about for, let's say, Q4 for the finances of my company? Be as brief and to the point as possible, as all C suite executives like. We want the information right now. We don't want fluff. How long did that take to respond? I'm always, let me see, sent a message in 11:24, got the message back 11:25. That's not bad. I mean, 1 minute response times from human beings is really good. Um, but for bots, generally, I mean, the slower they are, the more human they appear, to be honest. Okay, so we're getting action on the interface side. Now, are the telecom towers going to let this message go through? Ooh. For Q4 finances, it's important to consider the following. Review your income statements, balance sheets, cash flow analysis to assess the financial health of your company. Evaluate the price to earnings ratios and dividend yields to understand the valuation and potential returns of the company's stock. Analyze future growth projections. Oh man, being a CFO must be hard because of all this different stuff you got to do during Q4. Okay. No, I'm not a CFO. I could probably train a bot to be a CFO, in all honesty. But let's just say I was a CFO and I wanted to take some of these things into consideration during a specific market circumstance. Like a lot of people are saying recession right now. We're on, from our perspective, we do a lot of lead gen and uh, an appointment setting. So we're we're seeing a big influx of requests for services, indicating that we might be heading into a little bit of a market contraction here, because generally we do better during those times. So let's just say I'm a CFO. I'm a little bit of aware of recession. Okay, there might be a recession coming though. So what should be my first priority? What business am I? CFO of a, let's just say I'm the CFO of a construction company. I am a CFO for a construction company. Now, I mean, this is where the responses to me seem like they're getting a little long. I think for something as sophisticated as, a business partner bot, this would be good to demonstrate through email. I'll try and get a video out for that. But for now, like, I'm thinking to myself, busy C-suite exec on the run, doesn't have time to pop open Outlook, just needs to pop open their text messages and fire away towards their bot. Now let's see if that's gone through on this end. Oh wow! See, the messages are getting a little longer and a little longer because we're getting into the weeds. Hopefully, the telecom tower lets that one pass through. Come on. You can do it, Niagara. Oh, yes. Here we go. As a CFO, your first priority during a potential recession should be to assess and strengthen your company's financial resilience. Focus on conducting a thorough analysis of your company's financial statements, cash flow to identify areas of improvement, potential cost cutting measures, implementing risk management. Oh, so this is all that financial goodness that CFOs have to go through. I mean, as a business owner, you get to a point where you can actually have a CFO. Great, you made it. But if you're just, say, a small business owner like myself, and you needed to think of things, or what to think about for your business, um, you can quite literally train the bot to understand where you are in your own business timeline or your business growth, and I'll make considerations from there. So I sort of had to turn around and say, I'm CFO for a construction company. Let's see here. Conducting cost analysis, company's financial statement, cash flow, identify areas of improvement, implementing risk management strategies to mitigate the impact of recessions, such as revenue streams, reducing debt. That one I recognize a lot. Developing contingency plans and stress testing your financial models to prepare for various, maintaining open communication. So this thing is just pretty much leaning into the recession piece. Like, I mean, you can ask it to go into detail in whichever area you want, but I mentioned recession and it immediately goes into defense mode in terms of managing finances for the company. So, if with that being said, I'm gonna actually go back and see what else these guys do. Future growth projections. Okay, so managing the risk side and the cost cutting side, great, but we also want to still try and figure out growth. So as a construction company, uh, where could we focus resources to maintain growth during this time? Now that's a pretty broad question. I'm hoping that the answer. I mean, I trained this thing to respond in a way that's like within a character limitation, but we'll see how it responds. Oh, if that one gets through, oh, I would be shocked if I can see the messages on the CRM in the back end. If this one got through the text exchanges, like, that would be remarkable, because it is a pretty comprehensive answer, and that's why I'm thinking to myself, these bots are probably just going to be best for email. But if you have a quick question, one, two sentences, you wanted a response, um, text is great for that. Email for the more comprehensive responses. And then, of course, for your social channels, you can pretty much get into the weeds in that area as well. So, a construction company during during a potential recession, you can focus your resources on following areas to maintain growth: infrastructure projects. Governments often invest in infrastructure during economic downturns to stimulate the economy. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. Explore opportunities in public infrastructure projects such as roads, bridges, and utilities. Renovation, remodeling. During recession, homeowners may choose to renovate. You know what? We're seeing a lot of that too. Where our general contractor, this guy's getting business. A lot more for his home additions, because instead of considering, flipping the housing or buying and selling, people are just focusing on what they have and doing upgrades with him, which is interesting that this bot recognized that here. Energy efficient projects, diversification, of course, all the maintenance and repair. Another thing, maintenance and repair is like, during a recession, we don't want to buy new stuff. We want to fix the stuff we already got. So you can see from here, like, if I was a CFO and I had questions, what would be the best practice, or, what would be some ideas to focus on, really good. You can also give these bots numbers to crunch, but I'm sure, like, um, you're giving the numbers through text. Like, we're working on being able to give the bots documents and having them process the documents. It's a little bit down the way, but we're getting there. But for now, if you just need quick answers on strategies during particular market circumstances from a specific point of view, being a CFO at a construction company, you can tell this thing, I'm not a CFO of a construction company, I'm a CFO of an energy company. Go tell me what it is. And so this business partner is really trained to answer pretty much any questions falling along the lines of money or exchange markets. And so um, I think use cases or applicability for this would be anyone who is dealing with finances, or dealing with administration for finances, um, strategy, cost cutting measures, growth. This thing can come up with some pretty cool ideas that are actually rooted in truth, because I'm recognizing some of these things, or some of these trends as having taken place anecdotally. So I'll leave that one with you for now. This is a little bit of a shorter one, or I mean, in terms of time, the responses are pretty comprehensive, but this is where I'm seeing a lot of the interest lie. Like, one of our partners, he wanted his own personal bot just to answer questions on simple strategy for, like, campaign creation and deployment for lead generation. Great, that's like easy stuff. When you get into the more sophisticated questions that an assistant would be able to answer, like for a CFO assistant, like, this is pretty good stuff. I'm literally imagining now, artificial intelligence, when the API integrations get there, just being the CFO. In terms of the technology, we're not quite there yet, but the horizon is moving towards us pretty quickly on the capability of these things. So I'll leave you with this one for now. I'll try and get um, another video out, maybe for email for the ultimate business partner, so you can see how comprehensive the answers and requests can be. But if you wanted to quickly get some information on strategy or best practice, and you were in the C suite, or your manager, director, what have you, having one of these things handy, just a text away, uh, really valuable if you needed some insight right now. So I'll leave you with that, and until next time.